Before Himalayas touched the sky, rivers carved the civilizations. Delhi became the capital. There exist Aravalli Ranges. Quiet, ancient, unnoticed. For millions of years, this mountain range protected North India without headline, without applause. Last few days, Aravalli is back in news. Not because it grew, but because it might disappear on paper first. Most of us remember Aravalli as a simple geography lesson, a mountain range in Rajasthan. But that description misses its real importance. Aravalli is one of the oldest mountain ranges on earth, older than the Himalayas, older than the most visible landscapes today. Its strength is not its height, its strength is its function. Aravalli slows desert expansion from Thar. Aravalli influences rainfall patterns. Aravalli supports groundwater recharge. Aravalli reduces dust storms and heat waves. Delhi NCR, Haryana, Rajasthan, parts of Gujarat, their climate stability is quietly linked to Aravallis. That's why scientists often call it as India's silent climate shield. Look at North India today. Heat waves are longer, groundwater is falling, dust storms are increasing, air pollution is worsening. These are not isolated problems, these are signals. Aravalli does not stop the climate change, but it buffers its impact. And when buffers weaken, damage does not arrive immediately. It arrives slowly and then suddenly. Over the years, Aravalli has faced increasing pressures from legal and illegal mining, deforestation, construction and infrastructure projects, urban expansion, weak enforcement in certain zones. Environmental experts warn that mountain systems do not regenerate. Forests can grow back, but mountains cannot. Once hills are flattened or fractured, their ecological role is permanently altered. This concern kept Aravalli protected until a new debate reopened everything. Why Aravalli suddenly in spotlight again? Because of one technical question. Does land below 100 meters in height qualify as mountains? In recent regulatory and legal discussions, the classification of mountain began to rely heavily on height-based criteria. This implication is serious. If a land parcel is classified below 100 meters, not officially mountain, then the mining approvals become easier, construction restrictions weaken, commercial activities expand. Critics argue this approach misunderstands Aravalli because Aravalli is ancient and eroded. Its ecological value lies in geological continuity, rock systems, subsurface formations. Now, how tall it looks today? This is why environmentalists warn. A mountain can disappear on paper long before it disappears on the ground. The government's position emphasizes clarity and balance. According to official responses, clear definitions are needed for regulation. Height criteria reduces ambiguity. Economic development requires land access. Mining supports employment and infrastructure. Environmental laws continue to apply. From the government's perspective, the intent is not environmental damage, but administrative clarity and development balance. This is where the tension exists. Because clarity for development can become vulnerability for ecology, if not guided by science. The definitional conflict is why the issue reached the judiciary again. The Supreme Court of India enters not as an activist, but as a constitutional referee. For balancing the environmental protection, livelihood concern, federal authority, long-term public interest. India has seen this before in cases of forests, rivers and coastal zones. The court's role is not to stop the progress, but to slow it when damage risks becoming irreversible. The Aravalli debate is often framed as development versus environment, government versus activists. But the real issue is time. Development delivers immediate results. Environment damage shows consequences decades later. By the time climate systems collapse, policies change, governments change, but damage remains. Mountains don't vote. Ecosystems don't protest. They only respond. Aravalli does not demand attention. It does not ask to be protected. It simply does its job quietly. And the real question is not whether India should develop. The question is, can India grow without redefining its natural shields out of existence? Because once a climate shield breaks, no policy, no code, no technology can fully restore it. Sometimes the strongest protectors are the ones we notice only when they start disappearing.